Hi, how you doing? Kola Music ish here. Um, yeah, wanted to make a video, an introduction video. I just got done with a series of videos for the modes. I'm studying the modes, and been making videos for a few months now, and I thought it was time to kind of introduce myself and the channel. Getting a little bit better at this, but not much. Yeah, my name's William Sonoda. People know me as Bill, Billy-ish. That's a family name, a old family name. But I'm a guitar teacher, and amongst other things, a retired aircraft mechanic. But yeah, I started making videos. I've been teaching for over 20 years. I taught out of a store in Crystal Lake, Illinois, the Players Bench, great store, and then I started my own teaching studio out there. And when COVID hit, I kind of shut everything down and started teaching online. So I have a number of students online, and started making videos. The videos really were just to kind of help the students along, whatever song they were working on. So it kind of started out that way, and then I'm like, I wanted to get some concept out there, and I'll be making a lot of videos because I just love talking. So, and I realized I don't have an introduction video. So this is it. I love watching videos on YouTube, music related videos, music channel videos, a lot of stuff just to gain knowledge. And it's not just music, gear videos, because there's just so many smart people out there. And I wanted to throw my hat in the ring. Just because I teach guitar, and there's a lot of stuff I've told students over the years, and this is kind of a good way to document it, I think. Whatever, I don't know, I'm getting old. Anyways, and then I do play guitar. I played in lots of bands, and but nothing's going on because of COVID. So I've been doing solo guitar work. I've been doing that on and off for years too, but I've been posting videos on Instagram and here, just because you're sitting around by yourself playing guitar all the time. And so I've worked up a number of solo guitar arrangements just really for my own amusement. And actually, this weekend and the last weekend, I went out and played by the harbor. I'm in San Diego now. We'll get to that later, but and that was great. Made a bunch of money, and more importantly, got to play in front of people, which is integral to the musical experience. I don't know if any teachers mentioned that, but I'll probably be talking about that in one of my other videos. I really think it's important for musicians to play in front of people. It's the last step in working with your art and your talents, is that you're performing it for other people, and it's a whole nother level of experience. You could study all you want at home and play all practice and do everything, but until you perform it in front of other people in a live situation, it doesn't mean a thing. It's just you plinking around at home, which is part of woodshedding, but the final result should be performing it in front of an audience, whether it be thousands of people or just 5 people walking down the street like I did the other day. It is a different experience. It really puts everything into practice, and it hones your skills. I know other people have mentioned it, but it does. It hones your skills. It keeps it real. So anyways, so yeah, that's a little bit about who I am. Like I said, I went to music school, college, and then taught for a number of years. I taught while I was in college, and then I stopped after a year. I was making good money, and I didn't know enough, and I thought it was disingenuous to keep teaching. I was like, I don't know enough. There's too many questions that I don't have answers for, and I stopped, which was unfortunate for the financial situation, but I didn't feel comfortable or honest doing it. Then when I started teaching again, years and years and years later, I was like, wow, I'm actually knowledgeable now. You keep learning every day. Like I mentioned, I watch a lot of videos, so I can keep learning, and that's important. As whatever you do, whether you're a painter, an artist, a carpenter, anything, you've got to keep learning. You keep the knowledge and the brain working. So anyways, what do I want to accomplish here? Just like I said, I've always told students there's no one way to do anything. So this is just another way of doing things that I see people talking about on the internet or teaching. And this is my way. It's not the only way, and there's students that have always through my teaching career have done things differently, and I honor that. There's no one way to pick. There's no one way to do this. There's no one way to approach it, especially on the guitar. The piano, the certain notes are always in one spot. Saxophone too. The guitar, there's several different spots to play a note. Well, it's the same thing. There's several different ways to play things, and on the guitar, it's so apparent. And that's one of the challenges and the benefits of what we do on the guitar. So a little bit about me is I went through a lot of changes last year. I retired, as I mentioned, and I got married, and COVID hit. So my wife happens to be a travel nurse, so we decided to go on the road. We ended up from Albuquerque. We were living in Albuquerque. We went to California, and I'm in California now, Northern California, and did our first travel gig there, and then our second one was after the New Year was down here in San Diego, which is beautiful. I love San Diego. Anyways, so everything's in storage. All my gear's in storage. I've got, obviously, because all us gearhead guitar players, I've got a bunch of guitars, and I actually trimmed that down from when I moved from Wisconsin to here, to Albuquerque, and then I had to, when we went on the road to do her travel nursing thing, I had to trim it down even further. So the gear that I'll show you here, and I'm going to show you my gear. If you don't want to watch this, I don't blame you, but if you do, because you're a gearhead like me, you might find this interesting. That's why I'm putting this together, because I know I go, hey, what the hell is this guy using? And you see my guitars and you hear me play through, and so I figured I should talk about it, and this is that video. So let's get started. Like I mentioned, I played the other day on really sunny out here. I know it's really freezing some other places, sorry, but really sunny by the harbor out here, and I needed a tuner, and I don't want to use one of my box tuners because I'm on the road, and I ditched that. So I used one of these little clip-ons. This is pretty cool. Who's this by? It's by Peterson. It was kind of pricey, so but I can highly recommend it if you're playing outside. There was another one I used that I love, and because I'm a dork, I lost it here in the apartment. I don't know. I have a lot of flaws. Anyways, so I knew I needed to get this because Peterson's like the best tuner, one of the best tuners. That's just my feeling. I've used one back in the 70s and 80s. Anyways, a real one, just real big Strobe tuners. You old chaps will remember, and gals. Anyway, so it's a Peterson Strobe tuner, and this is it. Oh yeah. It's called a Strobe Clip HD. Really serious, which is cool because it's a phenomenal tuner. I digress. The reason I got this is because it's backlit. So if you do like acoustic shows outside and you need something that doesn't disappear on you, this fits the bill. Because the other one I was using, which I loved, I won't mention, but it was LED, and when I played a gig outside, I was like, I have no tuner. I brought it inside, I could still see it. I was like, okay, this sucks. I was kind of dead in the water. I had to go old school. And so I got this, and I was in bright sunlight the other day, and it worked. So once again, I'm not endorsed by any of these people, and they couldn't care less because I have like 25 viewers. Anyways, but eventually some people will come across this, and I'll be a dinosaur by then. Anyways, so that's it. The guitar I'm always playing, the one guitar I took on the road, I've got like a Strat, a Les Paul, and I've got some beautiful guitars. Anyways, we'll stick to this one. I recently got my dream guitar, one of my dream guitars for real. It is a Paul Reed Smith hollow body, and man, it's I I I, I dabble in jazz and like solo guitar work that I mentioned, and this fits the bill. I can sit around the house and play it. It sounds really good. It's hollow body. I can hear it. It's loud, and it fits my hand perfectly. I've told students many times over the years is the one thing you can't change on a guitar is the neck. Yeah, on a straight you can change a neck, and I've done that before. But the one thing that you will either bond with the guitar or not, flat out, color, you can change that, whatever. It is the neck. That's what you're doing with the guitar. You're playing it, that your hands around this neck. If it's too big like a baseball bat guitar, it ain't gonna work. It just will not. You cannot get around that. So when you're looking for a guitar, the first thing you got it. Does it fit your hand? Are you able to get all the chords? Does it feel comfortable? Does it have enough support to do what you want to do? Necks are huge important. Well, anyways, blah blah blah. This neck fits my hand and it fits my body. I love ES335s, but I feel like I'm playing like this. Hi, how you doing? How's it going? And I can't get around that. As much as I'd love to spend the money and buy one because they sound great, it ain't gonna happen. I got better things to do. This one sounds great. What pickups do they have in there? 58 L5 LT or something. I don't know. It's getting dirty, but something like that. Beautiful guitar. I love this thing. I hate when people say I love this thing because I love people and places, but this I really get along with. It sounds great. If you watch any of my teaching videos, it comes through really nice. It sounds, I love the way it sounds. And like I said, I wanted this guitar for like 10, 15 years, whenever they first started building them, and I just couldn't afford it, and it was never gonna happen. But I took the plunge and finally had to sell a bunch of stuff and came up with the money and got it. And like I said, it's a dream guitar. So obviously it came on the road with me. What else can I say? Oh, it's got that piezo pickup in there, so it can sound like an acoustic guitar, electric guitar. Reminds me of a Les Paul sound, if that makes any sense. I have an R9, and it reminds me of that, the sound. It's not high output pickups, they're not like rock pickups, but it does a great rock sound. So it really checks all the boxes. I can't say enough about this guitar. And it looks cool. I wanted one that it looks like a violin. It reminds me of a violin. As I used to work in a music store that sold violins, and I played violin for a little bit, but anyways, so that's that. What else am I using? Oh, I'll take this off because take you around. While we're doing the travel nursing thing, we're living in various apartments, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of a nomad existence, which is pretty cool. I'm very enjoying this, and my wife's very happy helping people out in this pandemic. Recently, she got the vaccine, and I feel better. Eventually, I'll get it because I'm kind of high up there on the list in age. So hopefully, I'll get it, and things will be better in this for all of us. Anyways, here's the. Oh, hang on. Before I do this, I gotta mention a few mentions. I'll mention it while I do this. I said I watch a lot of videos. One of the people I love is Rhett Shull, and Rhett Shull is like a musician's musician. Man, Rhett, I love you, man. I love your channel. I've learned so much from all the people I'm going to mention, and that's the bottom line. You got to keep learning. I'm older, but you got to keep learning. So first mention is Rhett Shull. One day I want to meet you. I know people that know you. So anyways, so yeah, anyway, because of Rhett, and I had to downsize. So he had this video on using an HX Stomp and a DC Chalks. Check it out. Check out the video. I don't know how you pronounce this. Clocks, Chalks, or something. It says, here's a picture of it. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, that's it. And it just slips under the bottom of this. Well, anyways, I picked up, because I'm going on the road, so to speak. I needed something that would cover a lot of bases, so I picked up one of these HX stomps, and it's phenomenal. Like I said, these people don't know me from Adam, but that's it. So here's the pedal board. You can see from left to right, no, right to left here is a Cali 76. Got a Tumnus, a Wappler Tumnus, the HX stomp, and then an Immerse pedal. I'll tell you a little bit about each of these. And some of you are like, oh, he's got a baby pedal board. Yeah, I've got a big pedal board for when I was playing live in a band. I played Gasoline and Matches back in Northern Illinois. Shout out to them. I love them guys. I missed you. I miss playing out live. It was a cover band, and we had a lot of fun. Good times. But so the Cali 76 is a compressor. For anybody who doesn't know, the compressor, I use that because of, like I said, the chord melody stuff that I do. It evens out my tone because I do tapping, picking, and stuff like that. And for that kind of clean guitar playing, I feel you need that compressor, and that Cali 76 is probably, if not the best compressor in a pedal board fashion that you can get. That being said, there's a couple more I want by Wampler and some other companies that I want to try out and throw on a board, but when everything starts opening up and we start playing again. So that's that. There's another mention to one of the channels I watch, and I love this guy, 5 Watt World. 5 Watt World. Man, he does great videos. One day I want to be like him. He is so smart. He not sounds smart. Not only he sounds smart, but I know this guy's smart. And his ethos was to how to trim down to just kind of what we need, and his journey. Lots of it is documenting his journey to get down to what he needs instead of having 30 guitars. And our lifestyle, myself and my wife's and my daughter, have had to deal with that. And what do we need? What is the basics that we need for life as a traveling nurse and spouse? So part of that was like, okay, I'm only taking one guitar. Which one's it going to be? And then pedals, because we're gearheads and we got to play, and I'm doing some recording too, so some of that's going into the interface. But anyways, so his ethos was how to trim it down and minimalize whatever you need, and it was fun watching his process because I had to go through the same thing myself, and that's why I picked the pedals I did. Is there any other pedals I wouldn't mind having on that little teeny board? A looper. I really want a looper just to work out some ideas, and I almost took it, but I didn't because I have the recording program to do the looping. But anyways, so that's that. The Tumnus was because of 5 Watt World. 5 Watt World did a whole video on the HX Stomp, which is a great video. And then he had recommended towards the end of the video that he threw an overdrive in the front of it to kind of, warm it up or make it feel a little bit more, have a better feel and sound and whatever. So I tried that out. I think I watched it just before I left. And I threw that on the board, or maybe I had it with me, but it just made sense what he was saying. No, I watched it, and no, I did, yeah. Anyway, so that's why that's on the board. One of my favorite players is, I have a lot of them, but is Matthias Asado. He's phenomenal. I knew about him through a student. He played, I can't remember what that artist was. It was a pop artist. She was a singer, and he was playing guitar. And I had to learn one of her songs, this singer's songs. I cannot remember her. It slips me. But Matthias was playing with him. I'm like, that guy's cool. That guy's a great guitar player. He was a young kid. And I knew about him then. And then through, I guess, Instagram or whatever, YouTube, you can catch a lot of his videos. And he plays with such feeling and soul. Anyways, so I admire his playing. And I was like, what do you do in that situation? Well, what the hell's he using? So one of the pedals he was using to get some of his reverb sounds or reverb and echo and stuff was that Immerse by Neubernauer, Immerse, and that's the second pedal they made on that. and it sounds great. I used it in one of my videos for an Elton John song. I did solo guitar work, and that was on there, as well as some of the one of the echo things in the HX Stomp. So it came out really good. That's why that's on the board. There's other pedals in it. I'm jonesing to get, but it's another video. Blah blah blah. Okay, other people I like. Rick Beato is like, he's a total professor, man. God, and all these people that I'm mentioning, and more I'm probably forgetting. I'm so appreciative that they do videos because I have learned so much. Rick, I've learned so much from Rick. He does videos, you know, that what is his favorite this, what's his favorite that, but you can see his love and appreciation for music, and I hope that comes through in what I'm talking about. But that guy he's smart, and sometimes I play just his videos just to brush up on stuff I know that are just in the back of my head from college or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Or if I have questions about something, I'm like, I'll look at Rick's channel. I also bought his book, which is very comprehensive and kind of like it's cool. It's a lexicon. It's got some cool ideas. In terms of like, I know a lot of people feel this way about Rick, is that he's like up here, you know, just frickin' brilliant and has a true love of music. My channel would be like down here. I'll tell you a little bit about how I feel about why I started and whatnot, maybe a little bit later, but I'll carry on here. Let me go down. So anyways, what else am I using? When I started out on this journey, on this odyssey of ours, I brought my Hendrickson. I have a Hendrickson Jazz Amp because I dabble in jazz. My jazz shirt, but and I love jazz, but I suck at it, which is good because it keeps you humble, right? But anyways, yeah, I use a Hendrickson Jazz Amp. That amp is the best clean sound for what I do. I dabble in and chord melody stuff. It's compact. It's a little bit heavy. It's like 30 pounds, I think. But man, it sounds great. I have an L5 at home, and that's the only thing that does that guitar justice. It really is. You could bring a tube amp and all this other stuff, but why? That thing sounds phenomenal. Hats off to Hendrickson. Once again, they don't know me from Adam, but that's what I use here on the road. Anyways. But I'm a teacher, so I get students that come up with Metallica songs, Van Halen, and all this other stuff. So the Hendrickson's really not the amp for that. I suppose I could plug the pedal board, and I was doing that for a while, but it's trying to trim everything down. So another one of my guys that I like is Pete Thorne. Pete Thorne, if you're watching, you're awesome. I started watching this guy when he did the best eruption video. It was 3 videos because back when he started doing it, you couldn't upload a long video. So he did 3 awesome. If I have a student that goes, I want to learn eruption, I go, look at Pete Thorne. I'm not even going to waste my time. I'll tell you about what my thoughts are about it, but he is the definitive, in my opinion, definitive guy for that. His love for Van Halen, and he even knows him or knew him. Sorry, he passed away. That's devastating. I will add. Watch his videos. Once again, Pete does a live stream on Sundays that I have been watching every single one. I even took notes. I have notes on each show of stuff that was important to me that he mentioned. As a matter of fact, I got these freaking headphones because of him. I'm like, what? Because I was starting to dabble in studio recording. I'm like, well, he does home studio recording. Well, what headphones does he use? Because I'm going on the road and I can't take my speakers, my monitor speakers. I can't. I have to mix on the road. I have to do everything on headphones. I'm like, what the hell does he use? That's what I mean. This YouTube is phenomenal. It gives us an insight to gear, so I don't waste my time buying crappy stuff. If it's good enough for Pete, it's good enough for me, and I know there's a lot of people that feel that way. Well, I'm one of them. Status, it's CB1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Yeah, it's here. Just pump this in. SACB1-SM, and they're not expensive. I think it was like $60 maybe, 50, $60, and they sound great and they travel well. So, anyway, I do have monitor speakers, but they're in storage. So, yeah, I have gig with that Hendrickson amp, and it sounds great. It sounds great. So, and it works. But anyways, with the Van Halen and the hard rock stuff, I needed something else, and the pedals weren't cutting it for me. And I came across this amp through another video. Pete Thorne and Chris Buck. Watch Chris Buck. He's freaking awesome too. That guy plays some magnificent guitar as well. They did this demo of this Yamaha amp. It's called a TH3. Yeah, this one's like a TH2 or something, TH3 or something. It's TH3. Or I think that's what it is. I don't know. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But check this out. This is the amp. So it's one of these little portable jobbers. It's the theory behind it is that you got a couple amps at home that you gig with, but you want an amp that just sits on your desk and you play, and that's it, man. That is so portable. I can throw that in the car on the road here, and it travels really well. As a matter of fact, I probably don't even have to take my Hendrickson out here anymore, and I might put that in storage because, like I said, we're trying to trim down. So anyways, that amp is so cool. It's got a great clean sound. Works for me for what I do. And then here's a cool thing. I had this student. It's like, hey, you got to play this. We're doing a Van Halen song, so I'm really terrible at dialing stuff in. But what this amp can do, this is why I got it, is that via Bluetooth it connects with my computer, and I use for my computer teaching and for learning, I use a program called AnyTune. I've been using it for years. Another teacher turned me on to it. It can slow it down, retune the song. So I do a Van Halen song and retune the track, not retune my guitar. I'm lazy. So anyway, so I play this Van Halen track, and it sends it from my computer to the amp, and then I have my little headphones that I showed you, and I just can listen to here, and I won't bother anybody in the apartment or next door. Well, anyways, here. And it can go wireless. It's the 30. It's like a 30 watts or probably 15 aside or something like that. So I use, check this out. I love these names. I use a Relay G10. So anyways, this has built-in wireless. And so it's a one less cord, which is such a pain in the ass for me. So I plug this into the guitar, and I can play the guitar. I got my headphones, so I can hear it, or I can just walk around the apartment without the headphones and take the headphones out and just jam away. It's Geek City. So it's by Line 6. I'm not endorsed by anybody. Go figure. So it's cool. So I'm playing this Van Halen song. Got my little wireless thing, my headphones in there. I'm like, all I bought this for was a clean channel, maybe a little bit of distortion. So I throw some distortion. It's got effects there, like reverb, chorus, all this other stuff in there, which is cool. But I'm like, wait. I got like 30 options of sound in here. Let's goof around. So I was like, so I played the track. It's coming through my headphones. I played one sound, rock, whatever, the crunch, whatever they call it, like Captain Crunch. Nah, that ain't it. Go to the next one, and I'll read you these great titles. I go to lead. Nope, that ain't it. I go to high gain, thinking, well, Van Halen, it's, Crazy Marshall. That ain't it. I'm like, what the hell is this special? The last setting is special. Like, okay, let's try special. So I pop in special. I'm like, oh my God, that's really, really, really close. Playing that Van Halen. Then I'm like, hold on, there's even more options. There's a little slider on the side, and the slider says, and this is, classic, boutique, and modern. So classic, no, that one, classic, I don't know what the hell classic filter is or slider is. Put on the next one, no, that ain't it. I went to modern. yeah, I went to modern. That was it. Oh my God, everything. I sound just like Van Halen. I have never sounded just like Van, or I can't play like him, but it was cool. How cool is that? To me, I was just tickled pink because I got this freaking amp. I'm on the road. I can't. All right, honey, I'm bringing a sack of Marshalls. Can't. So, just it's COVID. Nobody's using stacks of Marshalls anymore. Maybe just to record, but certainly not me. And I was just tickled pink that this little teeny amplifier, I could play along with the track, and I got the sound, and very cool for me. So that's that. What else have I got here? I can't say enough good things about. Oh, except for the fact they're out of stock in the bag for it. I wanted a bag so I could travel with it, but I guess I'm gonna wrap it up in bubble wrap and throw it in the car for our next move, which is coming up soon. So I can get all my pet peeves out. I hate stands with like arms, fingers, and all this other crap because I always I'm a klutz, so the cable gets stuck in the arm or whatever. So years ago, I found this stand that has no arms on it, and it works great, and it doesn't affect the finish on the guitar. At least none of my guitars. This is the guitar stand. Look at that. It just sits there. There's little pins on these little pin things at the end. Yeah, knowing me, I'm such a klutz that I've gotten stuck on there, but nowhere near like any of those stands with those arms, and I hate that. And the other benefit is that it folds. It folds. I can throw it in a gig bag. I can throw it in a little pouch. Oh, I don't show you this. Oh, it's right behind me. I use a Reunion Blues gig bag. The guitar came with this. Thanks, Paul. The guitar came with this gorgeous. That's almost one of the reasons I got the guitar I got, was because the case is just freaking awesome. If I had it here, I'd show you. It's probably my favorite case that I've ever seen a guitar come in. If you look it up, it's embroidered. It's got like an embossed feel on it. It is the coolest case. Maybe in another video when I get the stuff out of storage, because we're moving again and I got to restore it. But the case for that guitar, that Paul Reed Smith, is phenomenal. It's got leather on there. Anyways, I didn't want to take that on the road because I'm weird. And sometimes I travel on the plane, and that's a pain in the ass to go with. So I throw it in the gig bag, the Reunion Blues gig bag. I've had other ones, and I won't mention any names, but that Reunion gig bag is phenomenal. And it's less expensive than the more expensive ones that I have had, that I think you might know. But that Reunion Blues is tough. It's a great flight bag, and I use it to travel on planes because they'll let you on the plane with that, and you throw it in the overhead, and you don't have to worry about it. So, well, that's probably kind of it about gear. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments. A little bit back to my teaching. One of the reasons I kind of mentioned it before, is that, and this is really why I kind of made the video, is that when I was young, I would watch people go all the way up and down the neck, play whatever they felt like, and that is part of the goal, is that I want to show you how I do what I do. When I used to play live, I'd have people come up to me on the side and say, hey, what are you doing, and how are you doing it, and how do you do what you do? And I'm like, hey, I teach guitar for a living, not for as a profession. I can tell you a little bit here, in some crazy bar, but I teach guitar. You can find me, and I used to have a lot of students, and so when I'm like, well, I'll show you what I do, and that's kind of why I decided to do this, because I'll pass it on, because I've had great guitar teachers myself, and I always treasure the information and the knowledge I've gotten from them, so I'm paying it forward by teaching. So anyways, back to my goals, is I wanted to be able to walk up on any stage and be able to play guitar, and not, do you know this song? Dude, I'll play any song you want to play, because I've geared much of my knowledge is based upon real world stuff. Like, okay, here, walk in here, play this tune. Okay, either read it on a chart, which I can read, and music, and then, or just, here's here's, oh, it's a 1-4-5 song, and then you take the solo. Well, how do you do that? Well, with the knowledge I have and the way I've studied and the way I've put it all, distilled it all together, is that's how I teach. It's just in the necessities. I've looked at scale books, not Rick's, but I've looked at a book on scales, and it's like 65 pages on scales. And I thumbed through these books going, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. By the time you're on a bandstand and somebody says, oh, take a solo, and I'm going to sit there and go, well, was it on page 56 or 55 for that one scale? And then how did I finger it? And oh my God, the song's over. And you'll option paralysis. It was like, shoot, I think it was on 45. And then you play the wrong scale. It's useless. That book that 500-page book of like scale diagrams, it's useless. It is. Like maybe 3 pages of those are useful in an everyday situation. How many people still use algebra today? Nobody. I know I'm pissing people off, but realistically, yeah, you're going to use some of it, and you need that to think. The way to think properly, you need math. I'm pretty good at math anyways, but the point I'm making is that my teaching and what I want to pass on is that you don't need all that. You need this. Or if you get a facsimile of this is what you really need. If you want to take it further, I know a guy, Rick Beato. Go study with him after you're done with me, and then he will take you higher. But mine is, I part of like when you get in a band, okay, here's the thing. Part of it when you get in a band, and I've always liked to go jam with other players, is that you want to be up there jamming and play the right thing and not be that guy. And I was that guy at a time. Maybe even still now, not really, but and you're that guy because you don't know what to do. And when you can learn what to do and learn what knowledge you're going to be able to call upon in those situations, your art will grow and you'll be able to express yourself with the guitar. If not, you'll be thinking about page 56, which I think it was on this scale and it was used against it. No, ain't gonna happen. So that's what my whole playing experience has been towards. And if you have that functionality in music, then you're golden, you know. And that's why I want to teach, and that's why I started this channel. So hopefully that helps. And I've got to run. All right, catch you later. Thanks for watching, and okay, what everybody says, hit the subscribe button. 90 subscribers. And if you got any questions, comments, criticism, or queries, I do teach online, so I don't know how to do this, but I guess I could tell you online if you watched all this way. My email address is willabguitar, WILLAB guitar, @mac.com, mac.com. And email me for lessons. I do video lessons, and I can do them anywhere if I got it. I always have internet. So if you want a couple lessons or whatever, blah, 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 email me through that. I'll probably put that in the description, so I think that'll help. All right, I'm out of here. Catch you later. Keep playing, keep practicing, stay safe. Take care.